Right, I'll pop that there. Short. If we struggle, we could catch up on the phone a bit, couldn't we? Yeah. Prized possession you value above all others.
Golden boot.
Which one? Sure, a couple.
The World Cup one.
1990.
86.
86.
Mexico.
Okay. And how many goals? Oh, don't worry about that.
6.
6. Yeah. And where do you keep it?
Well, at the moment we're moving, we're all over houses, but hopefully eventually we'll find somewhere to put it. At the minute it's in a box. Do
you have them all displayed?
I haven't had for quite a while actually, but I should do.
What did it mean getting that?
Well, in many ways it changed my life really, because prior to that I was knocking in a few goals in the old First Division, and after that I was sort of known throughout the world, got to move to Barcelona, etc, etc. So it made a massive impact, and obviously I'm the only sort of British player that's ever won it, so that in itself's quite nice.
And didn't Bobby Robson sort of change your fortunes by sticking with you after?
Well, he could easily, after the first 2 games, things weren't happening for us. Yeah, that's right. Because but he left Mark Haitley out. Could easier than me, but he stuck with me, and thankfully it was a good decision.
A big turning point. Okay, the unqualified regret you wish you could amend?
Probably losing the penalty shootout against Germans in '90. It's the only thing I look back on my career and think, if only. People talk about missing the penalty for Bobby Charlton's record and all that stuff, but that doesn't really make that much difference. But if we'd have won that penalty shootout, it's the one. I mean, it's not a regret, it's probably the wrong word, because there's nothing I could probably do about it. But it's just the one thing I think really that close to actually imagine the chance of winning the World Cup and getting through to the final.
How did you actually deal with it yourself on the day?
If I was, obviously I was massively disappointed, but I didn't break down in floods of tears or anything like that. I sort of felt quite calm about it actually, although I wasn't hugely emotional. I remember players reacted in different ways, but it was always one of those, so close.
Do you have any other regrets beyond football in terms?
Nothing majorly, I don't think. Nothing. Shouldn't have had any children, but
full son.
That's a joke.
Yeah. That's a big man.
Yeah.
Okay, fancy 24 hours. What would you do in that fancy 24 hours?
You ask me now, this moment, go to bed. It's been such a few weeks, I'm knackered. But I don't know, go to the sunshine somewhere, that's for sure. Just chill out, really good lunch.
But where would you start off? Do you wake up in England or in the Caribbean?
Yeah, probably. Well, don't mind where, somewhere warm, St Bart's or even Italy, or like Italy, like sunny place, like LA. Don't mind, really.
Do you mind chanting the main, the sort of...
What do you want, one place?
Some places you really love, you had to go in one day.
I have to go, well, 1 day trip, so you wouldn't want to spend...
No, during the whole trip. You can start in LA, for example, have breakfast for a day of drive.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we'll go to Italy, and we'll start with, I don't know, Christ almighty, this question. Let's go Paris for breakfast, and then we'll get a hop to Italy for lunch. You'll notice we like food a lot. And then with the time difference, of course, we can whiz out and maybe have dinner in LA.
Do you have any special places that you go to in these countries, say in Paris?
Paris, L'Avenue is a nice, beautiful restaurant.
Yes.
Sit outside there, that'd be quite nice. But I'm not sure that opens for lunch, so I'll probably go in maybe a hotel there, so probably the Cost or something, wake up in the Cost. Yeah. Have a nice breakfast there then.
Just you and Danielle? Or
yeah, definitely. No, you don't want kids, do you? Not on that day trip.
Right.
You know all that lot on the plane.
No. But you'd hook up them at some point, wouldn't you?
I'd probably speak to them on the phone.
Would you? Why, are they just full on?
No, it's fine, I'm only joking. But,
So Paris, Costas, then breakfast in Paris, and you said lunch in Italy.
Probably Ravello. Beautiful place. One of the most stunning places on earth, on the Amalfi Coast.
I went there for a wedding.
Yeah, I went there for a wedding myself.
Did you in that cathedral?
My own.
Was it?
But
Was
not
that
in the
where you went?
cathedral. Not in the cathedral, because obviously second time around. But that's where we got
Did you
married.
stay at the Timberoni Palace?
No, we were just up there. It's a different hotel. And then I don't know. We fly to LA because we like going. Love going there. Probably have.
Shopping.
Generally, it would involve shopping. Yeah.
Rodeo. I mean.
Not so much Rodeo. Like sort of around Melrose, around there, West Hollywood. It's a bit cooler.
Right.
Not as sort of touristic. And then probably have dinner at Ciccone somewhere. Maybe stay in the Bel Air. It'd be quite a good day.
And for beach? You've got a beach person.
For a beach, yeah, you could go down to, I mean, Malibu probably is, if we've got time to go to the beach, having done all this stuff.
Yeah. I see you like your wine.
Yeah.
Link bars from 88, 86.
Yeah,
Would you have a bit of vino as well?
It would involve a decent bottle at some point, yeah. I wouldn't always drink that, but I just use one of the ones. I bought a load of wine in the late 80s, loads, and I'm now drinking it, so I don't go out and buy that kind of, but it cost me about £6 a bottle then, but it'd be a lot more now. So at the time my agent talked me into it, and I thought, well, why am I going to do this? He said, well, you'll be able to drink it in a few years' time, and over the years I've drank a lot of it, so it was a good move, yeah, because every now and again just think, I have one of my good ones.
The roast.
Yeah.
Okay, great. The temptation you wish you could resist? 200 bottles of red wine.
Yeah, but I don't pay 200 quid. Big difference. I don't know. Sugar. Terrible with sugar, especially in coffee and tea. And I've heapfuls of it.
If people haven't having no tea or coffee.
I'd have 3 or 4.
Really?
Depends how big the coffee was. But one of those Starbucks ones out of about 4, 5.
And you into your sweets as well?
No, I don't eat sweets. Chocolate, and obviously crisp, but they're really good for you, so that's fine.
How about the book that holds an everlasting resonance?
I'm not sure there's a book that quite holds an everlasting resonance, but I've enjoyed a lot of books. The one I was really into golf when I was playing all the time. It was Good Walk Spoiled by John Feinstein.
Good Walk Spoiled
by John Feinstein it's a brilliant sports book. So, but I've read so many different books over the years.
What was it about that one that really switched
I just think how he got so close to the players and got the pressures and of playing top and there's a mixture of players from the very top ones that don't have to worry about getting a meal on the table to your journeyman pros, and he really got inside it. It was nicely written as well. Inside the mindset, how much the pressures, how much it matters in life, the personal issues that were going on along at the same time with some of them. It's always struck me as a great sports book. So I think I should pick a sports book.
I don't think you should.
I ain't going for 50 Shades of Grey.
So you play a 5 still, do you?
I do, but I can't play to it. I just don't play anything like as much as I used to. And I used to play 4 times a week and practice, but I don't play once a month now.
So what was it that book gave you in terms of your game?
Well, not a lot really, but it just made me understand a lot about players at the top. And obviously I was working in golf at the time. I don't do the golf on the telly now, but at that stage I think it was quite helpful.
What stage are we talking about?
10 years ago probably, when I was doing the golf and the beat.
Nice easy one. The priority activity is the invisible man for a day. Imagination.
Yeah, exactly. Priority activity is the invisible man for the day. That was sounding like a pervert. What?
It's always a great way to start a sentence.
Yeah, that sounded like a pervert. No, but I wouldn't interest me.
Is there any sporting hero that you'd quite like to sort of...
Messi.
Yeah?
Love Messi. It's genius.
What would you like to see him? What, training?
Or I could probably go and do that anyway, you see.
Exactly.
I don't need to be the invisible man to do that, do I? What do you need to be the invisible man to do? Be a lot easier stealing crisps. That's a good way of getting a crisp in. That'll do.
I'll have to come back to you on that. Anything else? I haven't got another one. We can't do the crisp product placement within the copy.
What do you mean you can't do it within the copy? What's the point of the interview?
Because it's going to be read by 6 million people with a plug at the end, whatever you want to say.
6 million people.
Yes. More, actually. Should we catch up on that one on the phone?
I'll have a think while you're doing it. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
The pet hate that gets your hackles up?
That's quite easy. Parents and football matches. Kids' football matches. Absolute.
What, the father shouting at his kids?
He's shouting at their own kids, and they shouting at everybody, and 99.9% of what they say is complete rubbish. They instill fear into their kids. It's one of the reasons that we've struggled to produce technical players like other countries do, because they don't do that over there. Hoof it, don't mess about with it there, hit it long, get stuck in, it's all you ever hear, it drives me mad. Absolutely, I've gone through 4 boys watching them play football.
Have you?
I never say a word when I'm there.
You never?
No.
Have you ever said anything to other parents?
Yes. Many times.
What sort of things?
You're not doing them any favours. You're not helping. You'd be much better being quiet. You're talking rubbish. All sorts of things. Had a few rows.
Toe to toe.
No, not really. Because I think when they do sort of the really aggressive ones, I'll leave alone.
Right.
The ones that look a bit nasty. Yeah, that might be a bit.
Okay, great. The film that you could watch time and time again.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Nice choice. What is that one?
It's just poignant. It's funny. Brilliant performances. It's just a classic.
Do you remember when you first sort of came across it?
Probably when it first came out, but I can't remember it.
You must have been pretty young, I suppose.
Yeah, I would have. What was it? 8? Was it 7? 63? Is it that long? Yeah.
God, a bit later.
But yeah.
What? When you say poignant,
it's really moving, isn't it? Towards the end with the, and some brilliant bits in it. Nicholson's brilliant in that film. It's so fun.
How many times have you seen it, do you reckon?
I don't know, over the years, probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's a lot for me. I don't.
Ever met Nicholson?
No. Nice to meet Nicholson.
Maybe he could be your invisible man when you could watch him film.
Yeah, is he still filming? He's still going, isn't he?
Or watch him partying.
That might be more fun. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we'll have a think about it.
Okay. The person who's influenced you most? It's 1 or 2. We'll have more than 1. No, 1. All right then. I'll go for a fellow called George Dewis. D-E-W-I-S. Sorry, D-E.
W-I-S. It was the George, yeah. It was the coach at Leicester for the kids. I used to see him Tuesdays and Thursday evenings after school from the age of about 13 to 16, and then he was the youth team coach as well. And basically he was a striker himself, scored a lot of goals for Leicester way back when, and his coaching was brilliant for forwards, useless for midfielders and defenders, because he was obsessed with his whole thing was about finishing. I used to do 2-3 ounce finishing every single day. That's pretty much there were defensive aspects in it there for other people, but the whole from crosses, from one-on-ones to timing your runs to making this run, and he really understood it, and he taught me so much, and I don't think I'd have had the career that I'd have had without him. He's no longer with us, but
when did he die?
Well, quite a long time ago now.
Do you know?
It'd be a guess, and it's always longer ago than you think, but probably 15 years ago.
Right. And was there one sort of nugget of wisdom or information he gave?
It was just a lot of nuggets, really. It's just movement in the box was the main thing, because,
Did he have a sort of a mantra that he always said to you?
One run for them, one run for you. One run for them, one run for you.
One room?
One run for them. Basically meaning you go one way for the defender, and then you go the other way for yourself.
So one run for them, one for you.
Yeah.
So that told you to get away from me.
Well, it was, and it's fairly simplistic, but it sort of works.
Great. Figure from history, you buy a pie and a pint.
Churchill.
You share his name, don't you?
Well, middle name, yeah. Same birthday we share, so different year.
30th of November.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Different year. What would you ask him?
You'd obviously ask him about the war and what was. I mean, it's an amazing piece of history that interests me, and he was such an unbelievable leader. And he's just to listen to him speak, and his speeches were incredible. So yeah.
You say you're interested. Have you read quite a bit about it?
Well, yeah, I've read quite a bit, and I've watched a lot of movies, and interesting period in history.
Name? Just because of the date of birth?
Date of birth, yeah. Middle name, yeah.
Middle name.
Yeah. I think it was my grandparents' idea. They'd obviously gone through the war and all that.
Did you get any Mickey taken out of having Winston?
I've had it over the years.
Not Churchill.
Winston, yeah. Yes, Churchill. Oh, yes, Churchill. Have I? I suppose a little bit, but not. It's not. I don't mind it. It's quite a cool name. I quite like it.
Okay, great. A piece of wisdom you'd pass on to a child?
They've all ignored it, my children, whatever it would be. Basically, my thing that I've done all my life is that whatever I've done, I've given myself the best possible chance to succeed by working really hard at it. Or doing it as the best I possibly can. But
in terms of what you would say to what have you said to your kids in terms of wisdom that you've passed on?
I don't know, it's not worked. Well, I mean, we've all said a million things to our kids all the time, don't we? I mean, we're there to try and guide them and to steer them in the right direction, and they'll make their mistakes along the way, and then we just. But in the end, they have to learn from their own mistakes. However much you preach and trying to get them to do the right things in life, but it's
There's one bit of advice. It's about working or work ethic or trying.
Work ethic, really. It's just about just give yourself the best chance you can possibly do by putting your heart and soul into something, and at least that way when you look back at it you won't have any regrets. But like say saying that to young teenagers falls on deaf ears. But you keep going, you keep trying, and hopefully in the end you sort of help to produce decent individuals.
So that is your one thing then. It's about work.
Yeah, it is. And trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. The unlikely interest that engages your curiosity is anything that we wouldn't expect you to be into.
Theatre.
Theatre.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fairly new. The missus is acting now. She's done a bit of theatre and she's really into it. And we go a lot, and I love it. Which has surprised me a bit because up until 3 years ago, I'd been to the occasional thing over the years, but we go a lot now, and I love it. You see great things, and you see things that aren't so good. But
and in particular, that's really struck you. Maybe in the heavyweight genre, that's.
Well, we went to see recently, which was amazing. We saw Seymour Hoffman in Death of a Salesman in New York. We've seen so many things and some brilliant stuff.
So in the past, did it just bore you?
No, I just hadn't really. I was just largely unaware, really. I suppose just didn't. It's like something you need to until you start to go. You don't really get it, but once you get it, then you get some sort of appreciation of a play or an actor's performance. Or
are you reading any plays?
I can't read them. No. Mrs. reads quite a lot of plays. And she'll say, I don't know, I can't. It's just strangely written, isn't it? Yeah, it's that imagination thing.
Yeah. Treasured item that you've lost, you wish you could have again?
I saw that question when the thing came. I was trying to think of something. I don't really lose things. I lost my phone not long ago, which was with all my bloody numbers on. So and I was thinking that all of a sudden becomes important.
Yeah.
Whereas,
happened?
I left it. It fell out of my pocket in a taxi in Paris.
But did anyone find it?
Eventually,
Get it back?
I got it back. Funnily enough, I got it back about 6 weeks later, but it was wrecked and wasn't usable. So I couldn't.
Lots of celebrity numbers and private numbers.
Well, there were, yeah, loads.
People from Paris. Bonjour. But is there anything you've lost, say, in years gone by that's quite precious?
That's what I was trying to think, but I couldn't think of anything.
Why, are you just very careful and stuff?
Oh no, I don't. I mean, anything of major significance, you wouldn't lose, would you? Would you? Can you say what would you have you lost anything?
What I lost all that time.
Well, I don't think anyone cares what I've lost.
Oh, they would. So your phone turned up.
Lost the odd bet.
Oh, the odd bet. Have you lost lots of bets?
No, I'm not really a gambler, but no, it's not such a joke. Lost a lot of football matches.
How about the unending quest that drives you on?
I don't know. I think what drives me on really is that it's the same. Whatever I want to be reasonable at something when I'm. But I mean, it doesn't always work that you are. I mean, I've done okay in football and obviously in broadcasting now, but it's one of the reasons I don't play as much golf anymore because I had that quest to drive me on there and practice and stuff.
But did you have a quest to be a scratch golfer?
I think I always realised I wasn't going to be good enough to do that, but I think you always just want to be a bit better than you are, and most of the time it ends up in frustration and disappointment. Golf, but
what about keeping fit? You always seem to be.
Yeah, I do keep fit. I work quite hard at my fitness, about 3 times a week. Personal training a couple of times, and on my own once or something. I work much harder when I'm with him, just driving me on. But yeah, I think fitness is really important. It is to me anyway. I mean, I don't like it. I hate training. I train in all my life, but for me it's a necessary evil, and I think
it's something to remain fit. Because you age better if you stay fit.
You age better if you stay fit. You're healthier if you stay fit. You look better. It's the secret. Otherwise, if you let yourself go, it's
downhill.
It is in all sorts of ways. Yeah. So I do work hard at my fitness.
Okay, great. How about the poem that touches your soul?
I haven't got one.
Maybe a saying. Or maybe even a hymn or something else.
I'm not like that.
Did you come across a poem that's touched you?
I don't know. There might. I mean, Shakespeare's got some really nice sonnets, hasn't he? But I couldn't. That we've been to a few Shakespeare things, and you think, wow, that's impressive. But I couldn't tell you what it was now, because my memory's useless. So.
Have you been to any Shakespeare lately with?
She goes a lot on her own, but I've been to a few. What have I seen Shakespeare-wise? Saw Hamlet that was in New York as well, a year or so ago with Jude Law, who was very good. Saw Lenny Henry at the National in Much Ado About Nothing, wasn't it?
Othello.
I didn't see Othello. Daniel saw Othello.
There's no poem.
There's not. No, I'd be bullshitting.
No, I don't mean to.
Yeah.
No, at school, were you?
Not really.
War poets or nothing.
Nothing in particular. No.
Any hymns you love?
Oh, I'm not a religious person. No.
We'll come to religion. The misapprehension about yourself you wish you could erase.
The reputation of a ladies' man.
Yeah, really?
That I have. That is all bullshit.
Is it?
Yeah. All that rumour nonsense that everyone thinks and all this sort of stuff that I know all about, which is all not true, but...
I don't think I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. Well, not one particular thing, but, okay. Everyone seems to think...
Ladies' man, do you ever get people actually... Does it come up in interviews or does it come up...
Oh, yeah, I get asked about it in interviews and stuff, but... I don't know. People, it just didn't... I never messed about. It's not mine. It was the one I did, so... But there's nothing you can do to change what... I've
so you never messed about what in terms of within your marriage?
No, I've never had affairs, no. Right. So, I've had people come, oh, I know you have. I said, no, you don't actually. So, yeah, that's the one thing. Not everybody, it's just a London thing really, I think. It's a rumour. The rumours are unbelievable where they start.
Is this on the net and stuff?
Well, no, it's not. It's actually not nowadays. It's way back, but...
So what's the reality? What are you like?
Loyal.
Faithful.
Yeah. So, but what can you do? It doesn't change it.
But is it irritating?
Oh, I've read so many things that irritate me on that front. Yeah, really irritating. And you're powerless to really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And you know, what do you do? Do you come out and deny it, which makes it a bigger story and everyone reads it, or do you just leave it on the rumour mill? It's a difficult one to deal with, really, but it doesn't bother me so much now because I don't really get it now.
Right.
So
we're talking about
in the past. No, in distant. Well, going back a few years. Yeah.
Well, put that one right. The event that altered the course of your life and character.
Well, I mean, I think the only thing really, George was very ill when he was a baby, obviously. I think I always had a reasonable sense of perspective before it, so I wouldn't say it changed me dramatically, but I think it gave me a greater sense of perspective about the important things in life and health and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So probably that, really.
How close did you come to losing him?
Oh, very. Yeah, it was a bit of a miracle, really. But he's still around, enjoying himself.
Yeah, big lad.
Well, he's not a particularly big lad. No, he's quite a diminutive soul, but he's a good lad. He has a good time.
How did it? When you say change your perspective in terms of what to appreciate?
I think just appreciate life, I suppose, as well. You know, and just how important people are to you and what the true. I mean, I think I had that, perspective that, things don't always go wonderfully well in life anyway, but I think it just brings it home a little bit when you get, I think, and most people can relate to this when they've had illness in their family, whether it's to their children or their parents or their siblings or whatever it is. It just centres your attention, doesn't it?
What was, in a nutshell, what did you go through personally? Was it shocking, traumatic?
Well, it's a mixture of different emotions from fear, because the ultimate fear is that you're going to lose your child, which is a terrifying prospect for any parent. And I think, obviously great and different emotions at different times, but fear was the worst thing. And to see your child suffer is pretty brutal as well. But
and he's completely.
Yeah, he's brilliant. It's amazing how well he's done. Yeah. And we were lucky; we didn't have that ultimate, desperate experience of losing a child, whereas others have done. So.
How about the crime you'd commit, knowing you could get away with it?
Apart from Steel Crisps, because we can't mention crisps. Park anywhere I want.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not being able to park.
Does it drive you nuts?
Oh, there's just no meters anywhere now, is there? So few, you can't park.
Did you get clamped? Had lots of tickets?
I've only ever got clamped once, which was a bit of a shocker, and that was accident. I thought I was in a proper parking meter ban. Actually, put a ticket in. I was in a residence. But yeah, get the occasional ticket. Yeah. Usually through meters run out, but every now and again you just think, this is not good.
Okay, great. How about the song that means most to you? Do you listen to music?
I listen a bit, yeah. I mean,
it's not a song in your, maybe as you're growing up, a local disco.
Match of the Day theme tune.
Yeah.
Get it in there. That's what I grew. That was what I grew up to. That and the cricket theme tune. That was great. I used to love that tune. Sporting theme tunes, basically.
But is there not a song when you were maybe a teenager growing up
that really means something?
Yeah.
No, I'm not that profound.
You are, I know you are.
I'm not in terms of music. I'm not. No.
One that represents a time in your life.
I'm rubbish on music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rubbish on music, honestly.
Well, you've got huge knowledge in other areas.
Well, you stick to your strengths. There's a song about that, sticking to your strengths.
Who do you like?
Oh, I like, I'm sort of like the indie kind of stuff, or Coldplay, and as my missus calls it, you like depressing music. Yeah.
Is there a Coldplay song that you song?
Well, there's a few of them, but I can never remember the names. Put whichever one you want in.
Yellow?
Yellow's a great song, yeah. Love Yellow.
Would that remind you of a particular time?
No. I'll bullshit if you want. You want?
Yeah, go on, bullshit.
No, I can't.
Is there a song that means a lot to you and Danielle?
Not really, no. She's a bit like me. She's a little bit sort of normal.
No. Okay.
Sorry.
So the happiest moment you'll cherish forever? Taking births of kids out of the equation.
Yeah. Winning the FA Cup.
With Spurs.
Spurs 91. I didn't win very much during my career.
Didn't you?
Not really, no. So it wasn't. I should have won. If I'd have been with Everton a bit longer, I would have done. But I went off to Barcelona. We were always the Real Madrid team were brilliant. They won everything. We were second in everything. So I won the European Cup Winners' Cup, which was great, and the Spanish Cup.
Yeah.
But obviously the FA Cup. I'd lost the final in '86 with Everton, having put us a goal up, and then lost. But yeah, 91. If we're talking football-wise, because they're the one-off moments of real joy.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go down the football route.
Let's go down the Gary Lineker route then.
Yeah, personal life
Yeah,
and stuff. Do you have moments of shit? I mean, marrying Danielle was wonderful. We had a brilliant day. This was amazing.
And you got married in Ravello.
Yeah. She was lovely. It's amazing. It was a beautiful day.
Which one do you want to go with?
Well, I think we should go with the football one.
We've got a bit of football elsewhere.
All right, we'll go with the wedding then.
The wedding?
Yeah, fine.
So Ravello, was it a big deal or was it quite?
It was about 60 people that came over and stayed. Yeah, so it was nice. We had one big long table, which was a gamble, but it worked brilliantly. It was perfect.
The saddest day that shook your world? The saddest day that shook your world?
Well, that's George when they told us we got leukemia. I would imagine it's hard to go beyond that.
What do you remember of that day?
Just them telling us that word. I didn't really know much about it except the fact that it meant that there's a really good chance of death. And so it was just.
Did they put it in those terms that he might have survived?
They're pretty brutally honest at that stage. Yeah.
Do you remember what they said?
They didn't say an exact number, but they said, it's. I think they said it's. I'm trying to remember, but it's definitely worse than 50-50, but probably not as bad as 10%, something like that. Chance.
They cloaked it like that.
Yeah.
And where was this? Can you remember?
It was in the Portland, and then they rushed him straight away in an ambulance to Great Ormond Street.
And how old was he then?
2 months.
2 months.
Wow, that was lucky, wasn't it? Missed the rain.
How did you as a couple deal with it immediately together?
Different ways. Going to speak for myself, but it was hard. It was really hard, but it's, lots of parents have to deal with it. But the funny thing is, as time gets by and your treatment goes on, and you have really scary moments where you think you've lost them, and then you've got moments where life's almost normal, even though it's in a hospital environment. After a couple of weeks, I went back and played football because I needed to do something.
What was it like seeing him in the hospital when they began treatment?
It's tough. It's scary, really. I think it's the scary factor that's the worst, as well as seeing them suffer, although they can't tell you how they're suffering at that age. And the fact that he was so young meant that he has no real mental scarring of memories of fear of treatment, etc., etc.
How long did his treatment last?
7 months.
7 months. I presume they were the hardest 7 months ever.
Yeah, and then there's ups and downs within it, because there are times where the treatment's going really well, and then they, after the first couple of treatments, they got him in remission. So that's a great news moment because once you get in remission, you've got a chance. It's just whether you keep him in remission. And then you've got the protection of the treatment. It's almost tougher at the end of it, because you go home and you go, right, now you've got to hope he doesn't come back. So once they say you're in remission, that doesn't mean cure. You've got to wait 5 years for cure. obviously the longer you go in that period of time, the greater chances of the cure effect taking place. But so it's an and they might suddenly have a normal cold, and you fear the worst. You think, oh my God, it's not, or but
You're on like a knife edge.
you are certainly for the initial few months after it, and then gradually life returns to normal, and you start to forget about it and build up confidence that it's going to be okay.
How about the unfulfilled ambition? Continues to haunt.
I'd love to present a programme where England won either the Euros or the World Cup, and just say that line at the end.
Right. Okay.
That's
Should we narrow it down to the World Cup, or does it have to be either one?
narrow it down to the World Cup's fine. I'll take the Euros, but ultimately we won the World Cup.
Okay. How about the philosophy that underpins your life? Philosophy.
I'm just trying to do the right thing, I think.
By people?
Everything, whether it's when you do your work, whether you life in general, how you treat people. I think just try and do the right thing, treat people properly,
and be
respectful.
Yourself in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important. Yeah, not be too up yourself and not be too up yourself and all that, and take yourself too seriously.
Order of service at your funeral?
For God's sake. I won't have a service at my funeral. I don't think so. Just chuck me in a box, do what you want. I'm absolutely not a religious person, so I don't know what that means in terms of funerals. No, I don't believe in anything.
You don't?
No.
Do you envisage having a church service or
No.
out in the open? No?
No. I'm not even... Why do you want to think about a funeral?
I was just wondering, what about, is there any way you want to be scattered, for example, buried?
I really don't care when I'm dead.
You don't care?
No, when I'm dead, I'm dead.
Does it fill you any fears?
Not at the moment, because I feel I've got a bit of time left, but I'm sure, there's I think the only thing that would ever be particular, the thing that scares you about death, I don't think it's death itself. It's the thought of not seeing people again, isn't it? It's like saying goodbye to everyone forever. So I don't know. I have no fear of dying, because we'll all die. It doesn't. But it's just, you won't see your loved ones again. I think that's the thing that you've got to deal with. Personally, that's how I would
say. Would you be cremated, for example? But would you have your ashes scattered in Leicester? Is there a monument to you there? A statue?
No.
There's not?
I don't think so.
Why not?
There's the Gary Lineker stand. At the new Walker Stadium, where I never played, obviously. Oh, it used to be the Walker Stadium, now it's the something else stadium, King Power Stadium. So not really. I don't know. This is the first time I've been asked this question, which is quite unusual.
This is the first.
Yeah. If I were an invisible man, I'd like to see my own funeral.
Where would you be scattered?
Where would I be scattered?
Yes. Where would you be?
Wembley.
Wembley?
Scatter me at Wembley.
In the 6-yard box?
Chuck me in the 6-yard box, and I can stay there and never have to go back for offside.
Okay, great. The way you want to be remembered?
The way I want to be remembered? I don't know. Hopefully he's a decent bloke. I think that's the most important thing to me. He was pretty good at what he did. That'd do.
In football?
Well, anything, both really. I had two walks of life professionally, so...
You sold a few crisps?
I've sold a few already, so I'm sure we'll flog a few more.
Just going back to the funeral.
You're desperate to get rid of me, aren't you?
Yeah, not at all. Any hymns or anything?
No hymns.
Any readings? Who would give the eulogy, for example?
He was alive in those days, isn't it?
Hanson?
Hopefully one of my
Hanson?
sons. Christ, if I don't outlive Hanson, I'll be gutted.
He could give a good acerbic sort of eulogy.
Yeah. certainly don't want any hymns or anything, or prayers or any of that
punditry
stuff.
on your life? Maybe?
Some good punditry on my life. Yeah, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? You'd have to have people who obviously saw you play. So, I don't know. That would limit it, because obviously I'm going to live for another 50 years at least. So, I don't know.
Should we just try and do the Invisible Man? It's going to be the world's quickest TDA. You've done very well. 40 minutes, 35 minutes.
Invisible Man. Sorry? Yeah. Invisible Man.
Could you torment Hanson and Laura, for example?
I try to anyway. Interesting,
Would you like to watch? I suppose it'd be interesting to watch them.
well, the thing is, I've done all that, and been in dressing rooms. What do you want to see in the dressing room?
What about, is there an actress you really like? Piers Morgan would stand in the shower kit with Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Have you come across this
I'm not going to say that.
Have you come across this feature at all?
What the No.
Have you never seen it?
No. I tried to get you sent me a few yesterday.
Yes.
But I've only got this at the moment, so I couldn't, it was illegible.
That's why I send you that link. You can see them in text.
Well, I put it on the link, but it was all blurred, I couldn't read them, so I didn't see any examples. I was really invisible today.
Is there anyone that really fascinates you, apart from outside of sport, for example?
Oh yeah, so, lots of people. Mandela, Obama, people like that. Maybe a day in the White House. Day in the White House, in the Oval Office.
Follow Obama.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting, because see whether he actually makes the decisions or it's done by the people, or that'd be quite a good one.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Gary.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's one of the quickest sprints I've done.
I'm surprised, because you have to think about those things.
No, in terms of
right.
getting it. No, super. But